It is the 10th of March at 6:53 in the morning. That is east. Sun is getting ready to rise. It's 26 degrees outside in Washington State. So you can see the sun rays are starting to hit the trees. And I got a slightly different load today. I am at my location where I'm dropping off. They have banker's hours here, so they'll be out here in a little bit. I've folded up my tarp. I don't even know if this is really called a tarp. It's like a mosquito net. You know, you can see through it. And the way I pull it off, right, I'm on the trailer when I pull off this tarp. It's really easy. I fold it on itself, get off of the trailer, and make it all look neat, and fold up the sides on each side and strap it in place. And then when I get loaded again, all I have to do is move that up to where the load is, grab one end and cover the whole thing, and then I throw a bunch of straps. It's really fast. This is a slightly different load than usual. Not only do I have the normal Hardie plank siding, I have Hardie shingles, and then I also have these boxes, which I think I've brought these maybe not in this amount before, but maybe twice since I've been here at the James Hardie account with JB Hunt. And as you can see, it's nice, beautiful weather, so I didn't store them in my cab. I put them right up here in front, so when my netting tarp was over it, strap holding it all in place, made it here nice and neat. You can also see that yes, I am tarping, and I asked to switch trailers from the 53-foot Conestoga to a 48-foot flatbed. And I guess there might be something to be said about that. You get paid more to tarp, from what I understand. And the way I do it, it's almost about the same amount of time. When you have a Conestoga, when I arrive to James Hardie, you have to open your Conestoga, hold it open in a way to where it won't close when you're driving, and that takes time. Well, with this system, I don't have to do anything. I just go in and get my paperwork, get loaded, and then I tarp. So it saves me on the front end. It's a little bit longer on the back end, because with the Conestoga, you strap and then you just pull it closed, secure it tight. That's probably a little bit quicker, but I want to say it's probably 4 or 5 minutes quicker, because this, like I said, I unstrap it, slide it forward, walk over my pile of stuff with the tarp, and then I walk back on over and get down, and that's it. That length of time that it takes me to take the tarp to the front of the load, pull it over the load, and then walk back the length of the trailer, come down onto the walking deck and down off the side, that's the extra time, I guess it would be, over a Conestoga. But again, the Conestoga, you have to open, you have to securely hold it open, so when you drive to the loading area, it doesn't slide closed, because you're not allowed to get out of your truck while getting loaded. And then you have to go through closing it again. So it's almost the same. Almost, not quite. But like I said, the added benefit of this is that you get paid more to tarp than you do to do a Conestoga. Because technically you're not tarping per se, you're just closing it. It's amazing at 26 degrees how quickly my fingers get cold. I'm holding my phone and thinking, why are my fingertips so numb? I'm like, oh yeah, it's frozen outside. I forget. It'll probably get up to about, I don't know, 46, 50 degrees today. So this may be the last week of cold. There are no, a lot of locations, the flowers are coming out of the ground. So what can you do? Anyway, in addition to all that garbage I just said, which, you know, if you're interested, it's pretty rare that I haul a mixed load like this. It's usually, well, let's see what the other side looks like so you can see how this is done. The 48-foot flatbed, if I can speak correctly, my cheeks are freezing up. The 48-foot flatbed is a little bit easier to get in and out of locations over the 53-foot, but then again, I've delivered to downtown locations in Bellevue, where Microsoft is building, well, right next to Microsoft, a whole bunch of construction for apartments going up. I've delivered in some really tight locations with the 53-foot before, and needless to say, it was fine. This is just, it's shorter, so it's slightly easier. They just recently switched me back to this truck. The one I had before did not have a drop axle and was slightly shorter, and amazingly had a larger fuel tank. This one has I want to say it's a 100-gallon fuel tank on the other side, and which is kind of, I guess, adequate. It'd have been nicer if they had two. Why does this not have two tanks? Why does it only have one tank, not a second tank? It's designed to have haul more weight, but yet it's got a smaller tank than just the regular 3-axle day cab I was driving. And the day cab had a 140-gallon tank, so, which I really loved the other truck because I had to fuel less frequently. This one I have to fuel pretty much every day. Yeah, pretty much every day. I am, in fact, after I unload this, I have to go get fuel. And because of the way our stops go, I may find myself traveling a very far location in the morning. So as a result, I find myself fueling up. One of the first things I do in the morning is end up driving to a fuel station that's along my route to my first stop in order to complete the entire day and get loaded for the next day. There you go. You can kind of make out the sun in between the trees if I'm looking correctly. And daylight savings time is this weekend. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm gonna lose an hour for what? It's completely pointless. I wish this was like Arizona and we did away with daylight saving time, because it's not saving me anything. In fact, if you could save one life, isn't it worth it? Because people die as a result of this. So I say, let's save some lives and get rid of it. In fact, I know Washington State legislators were talking about it this past week about whether to do away with it or not. I don't hold any hope for that, because they've been bringing this subject up every year for probably the past 10 years. And they talk about it and they do nothing. And we all get to lose an hour. I mean, gaining an hour in the springtime, hey, that's great. You get to sleep in an extra hour. But losing an hour, that kills people. So let's save some lives and get rid of it. Oh, I think they're hiring. So if you do, you know what to do. You know what to do. I'll put it on the screen, you know. Something like my driver code, CLAD 46. It's a JB Hunt James Hardie account. This specific account in Washington State is hiring, from what I understand, because I've seen some drivers go to other locations. And I know they like having drivers. It's a little bit shorter than usual. And my paychecks average about, I don't know, $1,500–1,600 every week. So if you're looking for a gem of a job, and you live in that area, you live in the Sumner Spanaway area, and you're like, man, sure would like a day job where I'm not sleeping in my truck and I can go home to my family with reasonable hours. I mean, I think I worked 46 hours last week, so I don't know if that's a lot. You tell me. It tends to be working out right now. Though it always feels like the grass is probably greener on the other side of the fence somewhere. I just need to find that fence so I can look over and see if it's greener. Anyway, till next time, hope you all have a great week.